I'll close everything out at the end, so you all will be good to go. So we are now officially live. So I would like to welcome everyone to the Virtual College Exploration for all West Virginia students, sponsored by the West Virginia Association of Collegiate Registrars and Admissions Officers and StriveScan. So thank you for joining us. A few housekeeping announcements before we get started. You can use the Q&A button on your screen to type your question to our presenters at any time. Your camera and your microphone are off, so the panelists cannot see or hear you. This is just one of the many different sessions happening, so be sure to check out the full schedule at WVACRAO.org. This presentation is being recorded and will be available within about a week on the same website, WVACRAO.org. And now I'd like to turn it over to our presenters.
All right. All right, everyone. Well, welcome. Thank you all for joining us this afternoon. All of you are in for a treat, and we'll be hearing from a diverse group of private institutions from various parts of West Virginia and Virginia. In today's presentation, we will be discussing 5 main facts that you should know about private colleges and universities. And then you will all have the opportunity to hear a little bit more about each of our respective institutions. We encourage you to ask questions via the Q&A button, and we will do our best to answer as many as we can. If we don't get to your question during the presentation, again, this presentation is being recorded, and all of our contact information is provided in the presentation for you all to contact us directly. So let's get started by introducing our presenters. So my name's Matthew Hamilton, and I currently serve as the Director of Traditional Admissions at Bluefield College. With me today is Dr. Beth Wolf, Executive Vice President of Enrollment Management at the University of Charleston, Jessica Hollebeck, the Assistant Director of Admissions at Wheeling University, Joy Parr-McGrath, who's the Associate Director of Admissions at Randolph College in Lynchburg, Virginia, and Leah Ripley, the Associate Director of Admissions at West Virginia Wesleyan College. All right, so I'm going to hand it off to Jessica to get us started.
All right, thanks, Matt. So again, we're going to start off with 5 things that you should know about private colleges and universities. First up will be, we want to remind you all that we are not too expensive. Oftentimes, we look at the sticker price tag and we automatically assume that's how much it's going to cost. But in all reality, no one pays that sticker price tag. So many families often assume that they cannot afford private colleges because of the sticker price tag. Private schools offer generous financial aid packages to help bring that cost back down. With that being said, we always have generous financial aid packages, and we have additional aid through inside and outside sources. A few examples of additional aid include merits, which are sometimes based off of GPA, test scores. It kind of depends per university, so definitely check with the individual university that you're looking into. We also have things such as financial aid, federal aid such as Pell and SEOG. Universities offer work study positions. There's outside scholarships. Some universities offer endowments. The possibilities are endless. And don't forget, in West Virginia, if you guys are looking, we do have West Virginia Promise if you would qualify for it. Private schools work very hard to make college affordable and reachable for all families.
Try that again. Hi, I'm Beth Wolf. I'm the Executive Vice President for Enrollment Management at the University of Charleston. And the second thing that we want you to know about private colleges and universities is that our curriculum is often very flexible, and many times more flexible than what you might see at not private colleges and universities. Part of that is because while we have same rules of accreditation, we're independent schools. And so a lot of times we can have a little bit more flexibility in terms of starting new degree programs or how we structure our gen ed curriculum. So one thing to take a look at with private colleges and universities is look for unique majors that aren't offered anywhere else. For example, at UC, we have a financial planning degree in our School of Business and Leadership, and we're the only school in West Virginia that has that. And I know that my colleagues at the other institutions can point to degree programs that they have at their school where they're the only one in the area that has that. Also, our gen ed or core curriculum requirements are also often much more flexible than they sometimes are at the public schools. So again, at UC, we're focused more in our gen ed on the outcomes or the skills that you develop through your gen ed courses than we are on really specific, like you have to have this math class or this science class. So take a look at what those requirements are, because I think sometimes you'll find that you've got a little bit more flexibility or a little more choice and the gen ed at the private schools. And then also many of us offer the opportunity to build your own major, which you can't find just anywhere. At UC, we call that the multidisciplinary studies degree. You get to choose 3 different minors to put together to make your major. So if you're one of those students who's good at a lot of things and you're having trouble really narrowing it down to just one thing to major in, look for a place where you can kind of build your own major and maybe take the 2 or 3 things that you're really good at and pretty passionate about to make them one degree program. And with that, I'm going to kick things over to Matt.
Right. So thank you, Beth. Again, at a lot of smaller, especially private institutions, you get a lot of personal attention, especially from your faculty and other various administration. So something that you can take advantage of, especially at a private institution, is the personal tutoring options. I think all of our schools have some type of an academic success center of some kind or academic resource center. They're usually free at most institutions, so I definitely recommend taking advantage of it. And it is a mixture of students and professional staff. You will not be a number in the classroom. Faculty will know you on an individual level at a smaller institution, private institution. I know from a personal reference that I've had dinner at my professors' houses when I was a student. Students have seen friends of mine get invitations to participate in various research opportunities with faculty members. And the relationships you build with your professors and faculty can lead to them being a professional reference for you and be willing to write recommendation letters for you for grad school and beyond. So there's also more opportunities to become a leader and get involved on your campus. Student government is a big one at a smaller institution. You may have more of an opportunity to be a part of that and move into a leadership role in student government. We are a Christian college at Bluefield College, so worship and Bible studies, worship team and Bible studies is another way of leading on campus, and resident assistance in the residence halls. As simple as that position may sound, it is a major leadership role, and you pour and impact tons of students on your floor. And smaller class sizes. This allows for more roundtable discussion in the classroom rather than just a traditional lecture in a lecture hall. It's more engaging and definitely makes learning much more fun.
Thanks, Matt. The academic opportunities are impressive at a private institution, and I think of research automatically as I feel like it is easier to do than at a larger school, easier to have access to that at a smaller private school. At Randolph, you are eligible to work one-on-one with a professor as soon as you have finished your first year here. 8 weeks during the summer, that allows you to have the opportunity to possibly publish your research. We have grants that are also available that students can kind of complement their major outside of the classroom, outside of that research. And I think of a psychology student that wanted to attend and present at a national psychology conference in San Diego. couldn't afford the travel, applied for a academic grant that paid for his airfare, hotel, and food while he was out there. Same with the student that was doing a paper on a statue in Spain. It was her senior capstone class. So applied for a grant. These grants are a lot more common at small private schools than they are at large public schools. And then of course you have the study abroad. To me, I think that is part of learning. Learning different cultures, different foods from around the world, whether it's for a semester or a year long. And maybe you don't want to travel outside of the country. So learn more about the US. At Randolph, we do have a semester-long American culture program that's theme-based. We did a Wild Wild West one year. So our students traveled to Colorado and Utah. We did a jazz theme one year and went to New Orleans. So a couple of different options that are available to you that I think it's going to be easier to find at a small private school. Leah?
Thank you, Joy. So finally, the fifth thing that we would like to talk to you about regarding private schools is that there is so much to do when it comes to when we're talking about social opportunities. The classroom is only the beginning. That's the beauty of a private school. You have the ability to get involved in so much, and in fact, we encourage it. Maybe you dream of studying abroad, like Joy mentioned, and immersing yourself in a new culture. Your professors are going to provide you, because of that personal relationship you have with them, like Matt mentioned, they're going to help you find those opportunities and apply for international scholarships. Joining a student organization can help you explore your interests and discover new strengths. There's plenty of opportunities to join many organizations on all of our campuses. There's sure to be one or several that will appeal to you, and you can feel free to join more than one. Also, joining a fraternity or sorority helps you create instant, lasting connections with your peers if Greek life is something that you're interested in. That helps your network continue to grow. Philanthropy is central to our thriving Greek communities, and that outreach makes an important impact on the local community. If you want to learn how to lead, you have to step outside of your comfort zone first, and this is the time to explore your interests and discover the causes that matter to you. Between our community service centers on our campuses, through Greek life, through athletics, you're sure to have the chance to give back to the local campus community. Art inspires us and it creates beauty, but it can also challenge us to think differently about larger social and political issues. Expression is encouraged on our campuses, and if you're creative, you'll be in good company. Whether you pursue the arts as a major or just participate periodically as a creative outlet, there's definitely going to be a place for you. Athletes are provided a multitude of opportunities, both on and off the field at private schools. Not only the opportunity to be a major contributor to your team, but also a contributor to yourself in the classroom. Most colleges also provide opportunities to participate in intramurals if being on a competitive team isn't quite the speed you're looking for. And be on the lookout for esports. Yes, that's collegiate gaming, because several of our private schools are now offering it on their campuses. Many private schools are also have some form of religious affiliation, as Matt pointed out, which allows you the opportunity to also be involved in religious life organizations. So if you can't tell, the choice is yours when it comes to social opportunities on all of our campuses. The doors are open for you to be as involved as you want to be. There's no need for your high school experiences to end when you graduate. Maintain your passions in college. You'll develop a multitude of strengths that will ultimately enhance not only your career, but your life. And that's our definition of success. And we believe that you'll find that at the private colleges within West Virginia and all of us here on this presentation. So moving along, now that we've kind of detailed some of the highlights about private schools, we would like to share a little bit about each of the schools that we work with. So I'll go ahead and go first. Again, my name is Leah Ripley. I'm the Associate Director of Admissions at West Virginia Wesleyan College, and we are located in Buckhannon, West Virginia. If you're not familiar with Buckhannon, we are smack dab dead center in the middle of West Virginia. So we're very centrally located in the state. And if we go ahead and move on to the next slide, you'll see that we're a small campus with just over 1,000 total students on campus, which averages out to about 19 total students in your classroom when you're talking about our average class size. 13-to-1 faculty to teacher ratio, which again goes back to what Matt was talking about, smaller class sizes leading to more personal experiences. 100% of our professors, 100% of our classes at West Virginia Wesleyan are taught by professors. You will never see a teaching assistant or graduate assistant teaching you a class. Being centrally located in the center of West Virginia, we're also very much so diverse. Being 24% minority student on campus between our international students from 21 different countries and our domestic students from 35 different states. Moving on to the next slide. This kind of goes back to everything I talked about on that 5th bullet point about social opportunities at private schools. At Wesleyan, we offer so many ways for you to get involved through community service, through our NCAA Division II athletic teams, which we have 22 different sports teams. We have over 70 different student organizations on campus. And if there's an organization that, that you'd like to be a part of, that you'd like to see on campus, and we don't offer it, as Beth said, we offer flexibility for you to be able to talk to people on campus to enable you to start those types of programs. We offer the creative arts, both for your major, for scholarship, as well as just a creative outlet, as I mentioned. Also Greek life, as well as religious life, because we have a Methodist church affiliation. Moving on. Here's a little bit about our application process at Wesleyan. It is free to apply. You can apply through our website, wvwc.edu, or we are on the Common application. We are currently accepting applications. And in addition to your application for admission, we only need your high school transcript in order to complete your application and review it for acceptance. At this time, we are test optional, meaning we do not require at any point for you to send a test score for you to be considered for admission to the college. However, if you are from the state of West Virginia, please do keep in mind that test scores are still required for consideration for the Promise Scholarship if you plan to stay in state. Again, recommended, not required, test scores, personal statement, and letters of recommendation all are optional, nothing that's going to hinder you from being accepted to the college if you do not send those items in. Moving right along. These are the academic scholarships that we offer at the point of acceptance to the institution. Therefore, when you send us your application along with your transcript, you're going to then have your application for admission reviewed for an admission decision. Upon that decision, you'll receive a decision letter from us in the mail. You'll receive a packet that has a decision letter on whether or not you've been accepted, in addition to a letter indicating which of these academic scholarships you have received based solely on your GPA. So you receive this automatically at the point of acceptance, so long as you meet those GPA requirements. And once again, no test score required. Moving on. As I mentioned, with the Promise Scholarships stackable on top of those academic scholarships on the previous slide, we offer co-curricular scholarships, which go back to those social opportunities. So I recommend that you're thorough when you're completing your admissions application in indicating if you're involved in athletics and the arts, if you're involved in community service, because we have scholarships associated with those types of things, in addition to other scholarships as well. And finally, you can feel free to follow us on social media and contact our office. All that information is listed here on the screen. You can feel free to take a screenshot if you would like, and we look forward to seeing you. We are currently doing in-person visits on campus Monday through Friday, as well as virtual open houses. Our first one kicks off this weekend. Thank you so much, and let us know if you have any questions in the chat box.
Hey everyone, again, my name is Jessica. I am with Wheeling University. I'm the assistant director here, and I'm going to try to go pretty quick for us, but be thorough. So this slide right here is just an overview of Wheeling University. We are conveniently located in Wheeling, West Virginia, immediately off I-70. We're in the northern panhandle, so tippy top. We are the only Catholic university in West Virginia, so there's a fun fact for you all. We offer 4-year bachelor degrees, online master programs, and we do offer a doctorate of physical therapy. Wheeling University is going to be smaller in size, so you're going to see an average class size is about 15 students, and our student to professor ratio is 11:1. We are in the Mountain East Conference, and we offer 22 Division II athletic teams, and we also do have a D1 college rugby team. 100% of our accepted students receive academic scholarship. Like I talked about before, we try to make it affordable for you, even though we are a private university. And most recently, we were named the best regional university in West Virginia by the 2021 U.S. News and World Report Best College Rankings. So this slide right here is just going to give you a quick overview of what academic programs we currently offer. To the side, to the left there, you can see those are all of our undergrad programs for major and minor. And then to the right, there's going to be our graduate programs. All of our graduate programs are online, except for our second degree nursing program, which falls under the branch of graduate programs here. And then we did recently start adding professional certificates. So this is new for us. So we're going to see how it takes off. But these are going to be all of our professional certificates that we offer. And like I had said before, we are in the Mountain East Conference. So that is a competitive D2 athletic conference. With that being said, you know, D2 does offer athletic scholarships. We always say we leave that open to the coach because they kind of deal with those finances, but there's definitely opportunity if you are looking to compete at the collegiate level. These are both our men's and women's sports teams there. So if you're on either of those and want to pursue it in college, I would definitely, you know, say give it a shot. And so this over here is just going to kind of give you a quick overview of how to apply. We are currently test optional for the 2021 year. So to apply, all you have to do is go to our website. We have a free online application. All we will need at that time will be the application and your transcript so we can get an admissions decision for you. Obviously, if you've taken the SAT or ACT and plan to take it, we say send those in as well, because if you decide to come here, that's going to be how we place you into some of your classes. And we are also on the Common App as well. So depending on where you guys are located, if you are a Common App participant, you can just, you know, send your application through there. We do not care which way it comes in. Also on this screen here, if you are a transfer student or international student, it's going to give you the criteria there. And then a little to the left here is just kind of an overview. Like I said, we are in the northern panhandle, so tippy top of West Virginia there. We are still located kind of close to some of the larger cities. So Pittsburgh's only an hour away, Morgantown an hour and a half, and so forth. So if you are still looking to branch out, we are going to still have opportunities that are relatively close to us as well. And as I just discussed before, every student receives a merit-based scholarship here at Wheeling University. And we are, like I said, test optional. So for 2021 students, we're just gonna go off of your GPA, which is nice. So as you can see there, it ranges right through there. It goes from $8,000 up to $16,000. So wherever your GPA is in that tier, that is what you'll receive. It is renewable for all 4 years. So as long as you don't go on academic probation numerous times or something along those sorts, you're going to get to have that through all 4 years to make it more affordable for you. And so overall, that's a quick summary of Wheeling University. This is going to be our contact information if you have any more questions or if you want to go into detail or more thorough about anything else. But from here, I will send it off to Bluefield College.
All right, thank you, Jessica. So again, my name is Matt Hamilton. I serve as the Director of Traditional Admissions at Bluefield College in Bluefield, Virginia. All right, so at Bluefield College, we are roughly 1,200 students. We offer dual enrollment, undergraduate and graduate programs. We have an extremely diverse campus, 32 states represented, 16 countries, and we do have a 44% minority rate at Bluefield College, so extremely diverse. We have 40 plus academic programs, and that includes various graduate programs as well, and that also includes our brand new residential BSN, Bachelor of Science in Nursing program, which will start this upcoming fall of 2021. 6 pre-professional programs, 18 women's and men's varsity sports teams, and as we've said throughout the whole presentation today, very, very small class sizes with a 14-to-1 student to faculty ratio. We are Christ-centered on campus, in our community, and in our curriculum. This is a quick snapshot of where we're located. We are literally a stone's throw away from the West Virginia border, and just outside of Bluefield, West Virginia. So you can grasp where we kind of are there, not too far from Charleston. Okay, our campus. We have a gorgeous 82-acre campus, as you can see in that picture. We're nestled at the foothills of the majestic East River Mountain in the mountains of Southwest Virginia. 25 buildings and facilities, 7 athletic facilities, a post office, a campus store, and our Herb Sims Wellness Center for our students to work out and recreate. We want you to experience our community, so I wanted to make sure I highlighted that we do offer personal visits, virtual and on campus. We do have our preview days, which are virtual and on campus, as well as our virtual campus tour, which can all be accessed by visiting bluefield.edu/visit. So this is Rams country. These are our men's and women's sports teams, as well as our co-ed cheer team. We actually have male cheerleaders at Bluefield College. We are NAIA Division I, so we do offer a plethora of athletic scholarships, and we even offer scholarships for esports as well. Our football team competes in the Mid-South Conference, and the rest of our sports compete in the Appalachian Athletic Conference. We are the only NAIA school in the state of Virginia, as well as bordering West Virginia, so amongst the 2 Virginias. How much? That is the big question. So at the top of the screen here, you can see our estimated direct costs to attend Bluefield College. We do have tons of different scholarships, from merit-based scholarships, athletic scholarships, fine arts. We do have a full-fledged fine arts, music, and theater program at Bluefield College. Worship team, we do scholarship our worship team like we do our football team. So you can actually get a scholarship to join our worship team. And then we have our presidential scholarship, which we do hold a competition every year. Ours is coming up here November 14th, where you compete in an essay competition for 2 full tuition scholarships. Students that get invited to that have to be accepted to the college, so get your applications in quick. 99% of our students do receive some form of financial aid. And we do have an awesome resource through our website with our net price calculator, which gives you probably the closest estimated cost to attend school at Bluefield College, and that can be found at bluefield.edu/cost. I wanted to highlight our dual enrollment program really quick. We do offer an awesome online dual enrollment program for $100 per credit hour. You can actually earn up to your associate's degree in general studies. We have had dual enrollment students walk in our spring commencement ceremonies with their associate's degree. So it's an awesome opportunity for you to complete college credit while you are still in high school. It is also extremely homeschool friendly if we have any homeschool students on the presentation today. And the requirements are listed here, and it's very, very, very simple to apply. For incoming freshmen, we do have a minimum 2.0 GPA threshold. You fill out a full completed Bluefield College application at go.bluefield.edu/apply. We do accept unofficial transcripts for acceptance here at Bluefield College. However, we'll still need that final transcript to prove you graduated high school post-graduation. And then any dual enrollment or college credit that you want transferred in, pretty much everything transfers in here. We've never had any issue. For this fall 2021 cycle, we are currently test optional. We do accept the ACT, SAT, and the CLT. The Classic Learning Test is a new test, and we're a partner institution. And most private institutions, I know throughout the Commonwealth of Virginia, are partners with the CLT, and it is online, and it's 100% done at your house from your living room couch. So if you're hesitant about hitting the major test sites, you can certainly look into the CLT. All right, so we want you to be able to stay connected with us. This is our generic contact information that will get you in touch with our admissions team here at Bluefield College. With that, I am handing it over to Beth.
Thanks, Matt. Hi, everyone. Just some quick things about the University of Charleston, where our mission is to educate our students for a life of enlightened living, community engagement, and productive work. Next slide. So by our name, you probably know that we're located in Charleston, West Virginia. My office is right across the river from the state capitol building. But what you might not know is that we also have a campus located in Beckley, where we have 3 associate degree programs in healthcare fields, an associate's degree in nursing, a radiologic technology, and an occupational therapy assistant program on our Beckley campus. And with our Charleston, Beckley, and online programs, we have a wide variety of degree programs, from the associate degree programs that I mentioned to doctorate degrees, including a doctorate of pharmacy. We also have a physician's assistant master's degree program. On our next slide, we have a list of our undergraduate degree programs, which does include that multidisciplinary studies degree that I mentioned earlier. And with that, you choose 3 different areas to combine together into your major, but our undergraduate programs are in our School of Arts and Sciences, our School of Health Sciences, and our School of Business and Leadership. And then on the next slide, you're going to see a great photo of our campus. Our campus is so accessible and easy to get around. The building that's on the far left is Riggleman Hall. That's where my office is. It connects through. You can actually walk from my office to the opposite end of the Worley Innovation Center and Sports Arena without going outside. So on a beautiful day like today, I totally like to go outside and walk along the river if I need to go to another building. But in the winter, when it's cold and snowy, I just use all our little internal hallways to connect to get from one end to the other. So everything is very accessible and easy to get to. Our next slide tells you a little bit about that flexible curriculum that I was talking about earlier. Our Gen Ed is focused on the skills of analytics, communication, technology, innovation, values, and engagement. So we make sure that you hit those through your Gen Ed requirements. We also have a fast track with a lot of our degree programs so that you can actually graduate in 3 years. And because of that fast track, many of our students graduate with less student debt on average than students from some of the public schools that have those lower price tags up front, but you actually end up paying a little bit less if you go with us. I'm going to show you a little bit about scholarships in a second. Like many of the schools on today's session, we are members of the Mountain East Conference, and our next slide highlights our athletics. We are Division II. We are proud to be the reigning national champions in Division II men's soccer, and our teams are a great part of our campus community, and they truly do live out the phrase student athlete. So they're a wonderful part of our campus, and it wouldn't be the same without them. Our next slide shows you our automatic scholarships that are awarded to students on our Charleston campus. And these are awarded based on your high school GPA transcripts. So when we receive your transcript, if you fall in one of these categories, you automatically receive that scholarship. Students with GPAs lower than 3.0 are considered for opportunity grants that also help make the UC education more affordable. And talking about affordability, on our next slide, of course, like everyone else, you can use the FAFSA to obtain your federal student aid. We do accept the West Virginia Promise and West Virginia Higher Ed Grant, so you can make sure that we you can use that with us as well. We have a payment plan that allows you to break each semester's tuition into 5 payments. So that does make it a little bit easier. You don't have to pay all of it up front at the start of the semester. And we have a number of other scholarships, both need-based and merit-based, that students can obtain, including a full ride presidential scholarship. And information about how to apply for that is on our website at ucwv.edu. On our next slide, how to apply. It's real easy. You give us your application and your transcript, and that's pretty much it. We do have an application fee, but if you enter the code WINGS UP on our online application, we'll waive that fee when you apply. We are test blind. We do not need a test score for any reason, not for admissions, not for scholarships, and not for course placement. So if you haven't taken the SAT or ACT, maybe you took it and it wasn't a good day, or maybe you tried to take it and it got canceled. All those things have been happening. No worries. We don't need a test score for any reason at UC. Once you're admitted and we get your FAFSA, you'll get a financial aid offer. We do have an enrollment deposit and a housing deposit to save your spot. And then you can come join the Golden Eagles. On our next slide, real quick, we have the breakdown of our reps for West Virginia. So you can see your county and then see who your rep is, whether it's Kaylee, Faith, or Susan, and they'll be happy to answer questions, anything that you have about UC. And then also on our next slide is information for Drew Currents. Drew is our rep for our Beckley campus. So if you're interested in our RadTech, OTA, or ADN at Beckley, contact Drew and he will help you out. So if you're interested in UC, we'd love for you to come visit. You can apply online. Our next slide has how you can get a hold of our admissions office. We are doing virtual and in-person visits, so whichever one is best for you, we'd be happy to do. And with that, I'm kicking it over to Joy.
Thanks, Beth. Again, my name is Joy Parr-McGrath. I am the Associate Director of Admissions here at Randolph. We are located about 4 hours east of Charleston, about three and a half hours south of Washington, D.C., in the historic district of Lynchburg, Virginia. On the next slide, we've got just some fast facts about the college. We are a small school, and when I hear students at other schools talk about their small school, we must be a tiny school. But we have about 600 students. We pride ourselves on the size of our student body. It's an extremely diverse student body. I think we've got about 31 states represented and 22 countries currently, and about 40% students of color. And can always have access to our professors. They're constantly being ranked as the most accessible professors. So you will, like Matt had said, be invited to their homes at some point while you're in college here. We do have about 30 majors. Some of the more popular ones are in the STEM field. Psychology is popular, business, sport and exercise studies, and psychology. We do have 3 graduate programs: Masters of Arts in Teaching, Masters of Fine Arts in Creative Writing, and this past July added an MA in Coaching and Sport Leadership. We are on a rolling admission. Like everybody else has said, I think applying to college is a whole lot easier than when I was in school. I recommend using the Common App. You can use one application to apply to multiple schools. Just be sure to check that the school where you are applying does accept the Common App. We just need your transcript. We are waiving test scores for this year, and we probably will next year as well. We did a tuition reset this year, so our total cost for room, board, and fees is about $36,000. And that includes 0 merit scholarships. So all of our students will receive, 100% of our students receive some type of merit or student financial aid, which comes from filling out that FAFSA, which is open now, October 1st. So if you're a senior, be sure to fill out that. I recommend everybody fills that out. Something new that we are doing starting in August of 21 that we are really excited about is changing the process of how our students take classes. A couple of years ago, our faculty started research on how do our students best learn. We have come up with Take Two, where students will take 2 classes for 7 weeks and then repeat that process. So you'll have 4 classes during the semester. Think of the block scheduling in high school where you used to take 6 or 7. You still might be taking 6 or 7 for the year. This way, the block scheduling, I think, is now 4 classes each semester. We have found, well, we hope to find that this intensive learning really has the student able to concentrate on these 2 classes. It helps even with exploring. Wednesdays, there will be no class, so that will be the opportunity for community service, maybe participating in athletics. We do have about 50% of our student body that do participate in athletics, internships, or maybe in our arts. We do have a Mayer Museum of Art on campus. So arts, theater, dance, vocal, instrumental. We also have a symphony as well. So a lot of different things. We are super excited about Take Two, and hope you are too. But easy to apply. Just go to randolphcollege.edu. We are open for visits. And if you have any questions, just let us know.
All right, with that, I'm going to open up the floor for any last minute questions from the folks that are joining us in today's presentation. All right, I'm not seeing any questions. Everybody else can come back if they'd like.
It's because we all did such a great job of explaining all the things that people should know about private colleges and universities.
Yes. Well, with that, being I don't see any questions, I'm going to hand it back to our WVACRAO representative.
Sounds good. Thank you. You all did great. So just a few final remarks here. Actually, it looks like something may have popped up in the Q&A. I don't know.
Oh, I see it.
Let you go ahead and check that.
So the question is, do any of our schools offer super scoring for ACT and SAT? Somebody like to jump in?
Sure, we would if it was a normal year, but this year we are waiving test scores because of COVID. You can actually still submit those with your application, and we do super score.
West Virginia Wesleyan is the same as what Joy said.
So is Wheeling University.
Same here, no test needed, so no super score needed.
Same here as well.
All right.
Oh.
If no other, did you get one more?
Well, he meant for, or Aiden meant for scholarships.
So same for us. We are using your grade point average only for scholarships this year.
Same. However, if you do submit your test scores with Bluefield College, we will, it could get you more money. So we give you the option.
And I'll just say, you know, for any students or parents who are watching this, that, you know, this year is super weird. We all know that, and we've all experienced that. You know, so a lot of schools are changing their policies. You know, some are moving to test optional. Some, like us, we've moved from test optional to completely test blind. So a lot of things are changing. You know, ask the schools that you're interested in what their policies are. You know, and take that into consideration too, as to, you know, if they're working with you on that. So just ask the question. Everybody will be happy to answer it.
All right, that was a good question. with that, I don't see any others.
Okay, perfect. Thank you, guys. We'll go ahead and close out. So again, thank you for joining us. When you close this window, you will see a link for a very quick, short survey. It's just 4 questions, and we'd appreciate any feedback you could give. Also, this was just one of the many sessions being hosted, so please be sure to sign up for additional sessions at wvacrao.org/student access. And then in about a week, you'll be able to find this session's recording as well as the others also on the WVACRAO.org website. So again, thank you, and I'll let everyone go.
Bye.
Thank you all.